and chili.
This food is phenomenal.
Go ahead and plate.
The experience of Rose's daughter happens the second you walk in the door. You just smell the garlic, you smell the fresh bread.
When people are asking where to go for great food, I send them here.
I've been following Chef Susan for a while.
And Suzanne Parato's fan base runs deep, just like her mother's did.
You taught her to cook?
Many years ago. Then she went beyond me.
I mean, are we really mixing and making ice
You
cream
bet.
gelato right here?
Yep, fresh pasta and sauces.
Short rib pappardelle.
The short ribs are off the hook.
The fresh pasta is so delicious.
So we're gonna make pappardelle. 1 part high protein, 1 part semolina.
Got it.
Start mixing it, egg yolks and water.
Go for 6 minutes, start extruding. Beautiful.
That's a portion.
That's a portion.
That's a portion.
Okay.
Now we're gonna season our short rib, sea salt.
Fresh cracked black pepper.
So these are going in the oven, 45 minutes till they're seared.
Ribs are down. Sweat the veg.
Oil, garlic, mirepoix, black peppercorns,
Okay.
bay leaf, cherry vinegar, port,
Just a touch of red wine.
amber honey.
Honey. Is that a mom thing or a school thing?
A little bit of mom, a little bit of school. House-made chicken stock, a little bit of tomato paste in there,
This goes over the top of the short
Over
ribs,
the top.
covered into the combi for
18 hours.
18 brief hours. What else do we have to work on?
Oh, we'll make the truffle paste.
Spanish truffles, beautiful. And you're gonna do what to this?
Puree it.
I've never seen that many truffles go under the knife.
Sea salt, Tuscan olive oil,
She's making paste.
but it will preserve because of the salt.
That's dangerous right there. We build the dish,
Olive oil, shallots,
shall we?
broth, short rib, chunky, fatty. You okay with that?
Absolutely.
Truffle paste, salt, pepper, Parmesan bechamel,
What's in this Parmesan bechamel?
shallots, brandy, and white pepper. Cream, thicken with a slurry. Add salt, Parmesan,
Sounds great.
fresh peas, fresh pasta. Cook it a little bit more in the sauce.
Tighten the sauce up.
A little bit of parsley. Here we go.
Such a petite portion.
Grana Padano and pea tendrils.
Take a picture. That's one of the last meals you want to eat. Short ribs, delicious. But you know what the real sing of this is? Parmesan bechamel and the truffle paste intersecting the richness of the meat and a pasta that is light but sturdy enough to carry it all. The only thing that makes that better, come with a free pillow and a napping area. Oh, my pillow's here. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Short rib pappardelle going in.
The pasta is amazing.
Excuse me, young man, how's the pasta?
Well, the meat is good.
Vanilla vodka.
People come here for the pasta because it is homemade.
We get to watch people cook before our eyes.
There you go, beautiful lady.
Once you find out it's here, then it's hard to go anywhere else.
But blink, and you might miss it. At only 400 square feet, this joint's been making room for just one thing since Naples-born chef Gino Troia opened in '08.
This is an Italian pasta restaurant. Pasta is the foundation, no pizza.
The homemade pasta, you can tell it's fresh, it has just been made.
Is the pasta tender?
Mini vongole positano.
The clam dish is delicious.
It has a lovely light sauce, just a touch of wine.
Delicious. There's a lot of flavor, simple ingredients.
Simple.
Wait, I love the spinach included in there. The clams aren't overcooked. I think out of everything, the tomatoes are what add the diversity to the
They're
dish.
very important.
Coming from Naples, you're gonna do a dish like this, you better deliver, and you sure delivered, man. That is awesome. Fantastic.
It just has the right amount of herbs in the sauce. Gino is very particular about making sure that he gets whatever is fresh that day.
You guys are from this area?
Yes.
Lots of Italian joints. How many of these kind of places you can sit here and watch everybody cook?
Not a whole lot.
Everything just comes together in an atmosphere that's pleasant.
Ravioli ai funghi.
Ravioli with a cream sauce and wild mushrooms and sprinkles of truffles on top.
We're gonna put a little truffle on top of it.
It's okay, have a heavy hand.
Buon appetito.
It's rich, it's light, it's earthy. That's outrageous. I mean, you hand make everything. The pasta, the filling. Delicious dish.
Thank you.
Outrageous.
It just almost melts in your mouth.
When you taste it, the mushrooms and the natural flavors come through.
This is my Aunt Patty and my Uncle Ray. So break it down.
I've never had anything so good in my life. It's so delicious. It's really tender, very flavorful.
A place like this, good food, what more could you ask for?
It's the bomb.
See, and you wondered where I came up with all the lingo?
The best restaurant in town.
Old school, real deal. This is the kind of place that everybody wishes they had in their town. What a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Seafood risotto.
They brought a little taste of Italy to the Keys.
Chicken marsala in the window.
Hands down, the best Italian food you're gonna find anywhere.
Coming from the DiGiorgio family cookbook that Robert inherited from his restaurateur father, Pasquale.
When did you come over from Italy?
In 1962. I was 21.
What year did you open your first restaurant in Miami?
1968.
Robert followed in his dad's footsteps and opened this joint in 1992, doing his own take on the family classics.
Truffle lobster mac and cheese.
Truffle lobster mac and cheese is to die for.
The pasta is fresh. It's made from scratch.
Well, we have a pasta extruder here that my father bought and handed down to me.
Beautiful machine.
We're gonna make a version of cavatelli here.
Okay.
You have two different kinds of semolina. One's grainier, one's more powdery. Put them in the hopper of the pasta machine.
Okay.
Salt, pepper, garlic powder combination.
Then we go with the eggs.
We add water until we get the desired texture.
Look at this. Can I just have one of these in my house? Oh, look at how gentle it is. Throw me some soft music behind this, please.
Somewhere turning.
Like little tears of angels. Gorgeous.
We're gonna take our whole fresh Florida lobster. We're gonna let it cook for a few minutes. And we're gonna add our celery, carrots, and onions.
A little garlic.
Cracked black pepper. Our brandy.
Brandy makes it dandy.
Gotta add my water.
Okay. Now, how long is this gonna sit here?
About 2.5 hours.
Awesome. Strain it.
Let's get our frying pan hot. Some of our reduced stock. Ready to add our heavy cream.
Let that reduce a bit.
We're gonna add a little roux to thicken it up. Then we have a combination Asiago, Fontina, Parmesan, mozzarella, a little smoked provolone in there.
Living on the edge.
Fold in our lobster.
There we go.
Our house-made cavatelli.
There's a ton of cheese in there.
House-made truffle breadcrumbs.
Okay. And then we're gonna throw it in the salamander, toast off the breadcrumbs, and then we're ready to serve.
We're ready to go.
Okay. Look at that. That lobster is out of bounds. You got a lot of great restaurants in the area, but to know all the history, sharing your recipes and your experience with your son, you're doing it right, buddy. You're doing it right. Thank you, sir.
I started Cafe Pesto on the South Kohala Coast.
Okay.
Back in '88. This building was condemned, and my friend said he'd remodel it if I would move the restaurant here.
If I feel like eating spaghetti or bolognese, this is where I come.
Berkshire pork and beef bolognese, table 6.
Hilo's a really wet and rainy town, so it's nice to come into this cozy atmosphere and have a warm pasta.
Right now we're gonna work on our Italian sausage. It's gonna go on our bolognese pasta. This is that Berkshire grass-fed pork. We got our dried onions, minced garlic, fennel, a little salt and pepper.
All right, into the wood-fired oven with the Chiavi wood.
About 40 minutes in there.
What are we gonna work on while this is cooking?
Our house marinara sauce. Blended oil, diced onions, celery, grated carrot.
So a little mirepoix going in.
Minced garlic, fennel, paprika, oregano, pepper, salt, dash of sugar. Once that sweats, we got our white wine here.
The deglaze, gotcha.
We got our 6-in-1 tomato, some fresh blended tomato.
You've already blanched these and peeled them.
House veggie stock.
So you're gonna blend this.
Yep.
Strawberry smoothie.
We're gonna let this simmer for a half an hour. Next, we're gonna make our basil pesto.
Like the way this sounds.
My prep girl grew this basil. Garlic, Parmesan and Romano cheese, salt and pepper, of course, olive oil.
That's all she wrote?
That's all she wrote, my friend.
Good basil flavor.
Our final step is to put this dish together. We got our ground beef, a little salt and pepper. We're gonna break it up. Our Italian sausage, a little touch of flour.
Shallots and garlic.
Red wine. Some of our demi in there. We got our house marinara. That's gonna simmer for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yep. Toss some linguine pasta with our basil pesto. Lay this over the top. Fresh basil, tomato, goat cheese, Parmesan cheese.
It's a very simple dish, but the key to it is you've got two really distinct flavors The meat sauce sits on the outside of it, so you can grab the meat sauce when you want it. Nice, big, rustic sauce. And I do really like the pork, and I like the fennel in the pork. And then you get this herbaceous pesto. I think one of my favorite things about the dish is the goat parmesan and the basil from your prep girl.
I got gnocchi.
His food is so authentic.
It's like walking into a little piece of Italy.
Cheese meatball.
You feel like your mom, who wants you to have the best, is cooking for you.
Italian food is just so amazing. We all love it.
So there is a good combination of modern and traditional Italian cooking. Lasagna coming up.
When I tasted his lasagna, I was like, my grandma's in the room again.
It's just creamy and delicious.
I can assume we're starting off with the
bolognese.
Okay, the bolognese.
We start with the oil. Italian sausage, mirepoix.
To give that natural sweetness.
This is local ground beef, grass-fed. This kind of things is a morning job for me. I can add the mortadella next.
Let me see. That's not mortadella.
Look at that. Look at that.
Just make sure it's mortadella.
It really is mortadella. Boy, that's good. Is there more mortadella?
Deglaze with the Sangiovese wine.
That's not real Sangiovese.
That's bay leaves, rosemary, tomato sauce. I import canned tomatoes
from Italy.
The Ville Demi.
If you could see, guys, the viscosity of this, and that comes from when you make your own demi. How long is this gonna simmer?
At least it's 3 hours. Now we're gonna go in the back.
We're gonna get into making the pasta?
First the flour, I mix it with salt, and then I add the eggs.
Got it.
I let it work 15 minutes, and I need to wrap it and let it rest for an hour. The flour and semolina mix.
Folding it in thirds when you're folding it in half to continue to build the layers.
So this is ready.
Nice.
He's taking the measurement of the half pan.
You go.
Hey, let's go take a watch.
Did they just leave us? They did.
Blanch the pasta. I use bechamel sauce on the bottom, give a nice moist pasta sheet. More bechamel. The bolognese that we made.
Parmigiano Reggiano.
Mozzarella cheese.
And it just keeps going.
5 layers of love.
5 layers of love. Par bake this for how long?
15, 20 minutes. I flip it on a cutting board, cool it, portion it, bechamels.
When it's time for service, you bake it in the terracotta
I bake it
bowl.
in terracotta 10 minutes with the foil on.
Okay.
Another 5 to 10 minutes without the foil. Because I like that nice, crusty, cheesy. Don't touch it, it's very hot. Parsley, Parmesan cheese.
And that's all she wrote.
You're gonna share.
No. We speak the same language. Young grasshoppers, I want you to learn the discipline of how to enjoy one bite at a time. See, I like how you got that nice and crispy on top. Just watch, guys. It's delicious.
This doesn't hurt us at all.
This is rustic, super balanced. You really get the bolognese. And it's not heavy, and it's bright, really clean flavors. We should have popped a couple in for the boys.
My mouth's just
I got a full tray for them.
Your lasagna?
The toasted melted cheese really gives it a nice little crunch. It's good stuff.
I think I'll be able to actually finish the entire dish, and that's not common with lasagna, but this, I could pound it out.
Thunderdome for B4.
If you want really amazing Italian food, like this is the place to go.
Homemade pasta, homemade pizza dough.
Going in with 2 salsichas.
You can tell his style of cooking is not from here.
Yeah, it's actually a little something faux schooler brought back from his culinary training in Italy.
What does the name mean?
It means into the wolf's mouth. It means good luck.
Hang on, so I'm learning Italian. So you do wood-fired pizza, what else?
Fresh pasta, our own charcuterie. Again, in the summertime, we're kind of more seafood focused. King crab pappardelle for 25.
The king crab pappardelle, it's hard to stop eating, that's for sure.
Chunks of big, meaty, juicy Alaskan wild-caught king crab.
And the pasta is perfectly al dente every time you have it.
It's heaven on earth.
What are we gonna make?
King crab pappardelle.
Let's get into it.
We gotta make pappardelle noodles, low gluten flour, egg yolks, olive oil, sea salt.
You making all the pasta in-house?
We make all the pasta in-house. We always have a gnocchi.
I have the gnocchi.
I love gnocchi.
Gnocchi.
Gnocchi. I gotta knead it till it's smooth.
Let it rest. Roll with a sheeter.
Sprinkle semolina on.
Cut it by hand.
Yep.
All right, what are we gonna do about?
We gotta basically make like a seafood bisque, and that's our pasta sauce.
Okay.
Got clove, green peppercorns, bay leaf. We gotta grind that all up. Combine it with sweet paprika, ginger, cinnamon, sweet Calabrian chili powder, star anise, allspice, Cardamom.
Cardamom.
Mustard is our spice.
Something got my tongue. Is that from the green peppercorn?
That or the cinnamon.
Okay, what are we doing next?
Olive oil. Break down our king crab legs, and we got our crab shells here. Garlic.
Got it.
Carrots, onion, leeks, fennel, celery and ginger, and then thyme. We cook all that down. We add in tomato paste.
Copious amounts.
White wine.
You glaze it.
Lemon juice, fish sauce, seasoning.
Good amount of that.
Cover it with crushed ice.
You gotta explain this ice game to me.
It just allows that broth to like build up real slowly and gently. And then by the time it's all melted, it's gonna simmer for maybe 30 minutes. So we get a ton of flavor.
I've never seen it.
Well, there you go. Come to Alaska. We do things cold.
I would. He was waiting to say that the whole
I
time.
wasn't.
He was waiting to say it the entire time.
So after this simmers, we're gonna blend it and then strain it. We got our pappardelle noodles. Throw in our bisque base.
Beautiful noodles.
Throw in some crab.
You're generous.
Lemon creme fraiche.
Gorgeous.
Finish it off with this sorrel that our buddies are growing.
Delicious. The bisque is really nice and light and refreshing. The crab is not tough. The pasta is the heart of the dish. It is super tender. And the key is the creme fraiche. Have you seen lasagna that big?
Not before, no.
It's the cheesiest lasagna you'll ever eat.
What are we starting with?
My grandmother's
Okay,
Sunday sauce.
okay.
Olive oil, pork ribs, and neck bones.
Any prosciutto?
No,
How did you know what that was?
because I'm Italian.
You call it prosciutto in Denver?
I call it prosciutto because
Well,
I'm not
from
New
New
York. Garlic salt.
What's up next?
She made us put everything in the sauce in threes because it blessed the sauce. Father,
So one garlic.
Son, Holy Ghost.
That's a lot of garlic.
That's the perfect amount of garlic.
I thought so too. That's what I meant to say.
Onion, parsley.
What about the Father and the Son?
I'm saying it to myself.
I want to be in on it.
Crushed tomatoes, fresh basil, black pepper,
And salt.
Tomato paste goes in.
In a lot of water. And how long is this going to cook?
About 3 hours.
What's up next?
Nana's meatballs.
Is Nana different than Grammy?
No, I called her Grammy. My kids called her.
Nana.
It's half pork, half ground beef. Mix it together.
Now, she taught you these recipes by you standing next to her, or did she just throw you right in the mix?
She had horrible arthritis.
Oh,
so
really?
I was her hands. Chopped onions, soft breadcrumbs, basil, garlic,
You guys love your garlic.
parsley, Romano cheese,
Salt.
black pepper, and eggs.
How many meatballs will this make?
About that tray's worth.
Okay, good.
They're about 1/3 of a pound.
Ooh, we're really coating the pan up, huh? So we're not just gonna bake them, we're gonna also give them a little pan fry. 350 degrees, how long?
15 minutes.
Next up?
Whole milk, ricotta cheese, black pepper, eggs, fresh parsley, mozzarella provolone blend, and Romano cheese.
How many layers are you making?
Probably 6.
Okay, just shout it out when you know the answer.
You make me so nervous.
I'm just standing here talking. Granted, I'm questioning.
The place of my origin.
Well, that we know is just a gigantic farce. Did you see that? You're trying to kick me on Triple D? All right, Vic, let's see it.
Olive oil. We line our noodles up. It's got to be 7 by 7.
It's got to be 7 by 7.
Sauce. About half the cheese on this layer.
How much of the sausage is going in there?
All of it.
That's a lot of sausage.
The family that makes it has been in business for 100 years. They were friends of my grandmother.
Got it. Noodles again. Sauce again. Cheese again.
Meatballs.
Oh, this should be an interesting number.
A lot of meatballs.
Well, that can't be the real way, Vic. I think
It's
I'm being
12.
told a story. 12.
It's 12.
Okay.
How many do I have in there now?
I have no clue.
Me either. Provolone. Noodles.
How long is this gonna bake? 4 years?
About 3 hours.
Whoa! That is a monster. Oh, the parsley made it healthier.
Yeah, eat your vegetables.
One small bite for man. So I know that this is the lasagna portion for the entire family. Lots of ricotta, delicious meatballs, tender pasta, dynamite sauce. You make this roll yourself also?
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. This is old school American Italian, exactly the kind of lasagna I would expect to go and get at Grammy's house.
It's not trying to be fancy, it's just good and what's right.
Short rib melts.
Translation, gangster grilled cheeses and standout soups. A simple menu that Chef Crystal De Luna Bogan and her musician husband Joseph have stuck to since they opened the truck in 2010.
I got a pimento mac going out with the soup. We got some Tennessee cheddar.
It's a monster.
It's a 40-pound block. We're gonna cut this up, shred it up for the pimento mac and cheese base.
So you're gonna cut the cheese?
I'm gonna cut this cheese with this knife.
So no processed cheese in this crew.
No, sir.
Delicious, okay. So cheese is done.
We're gonna make some mayo. Eggs, garlic, spice mix, paprika, cayenne, pepper, and then
Hot sauce?
Hot sauce. Again, the mayo.
The slow stream.
So stream, and then the oil. So this kind of replaces the whole roux
I gotcha.
situation. This actually makes it a lot more gooey, and we love our mayo here in the South. All right, now we just assemble. So we got our mac, already cooked it in just some salted boiling water, a little oil. We got our mayo
this
base.
girl thinks she was some pretty little bartender. This girl been cooking.
And then here comes the good stuff. We got our cheese.
I'm digging it.
We just want a little bit of noodle, just for some texture, but it's mostly about the cheese.
Righteous.
And then we're just gonna add our roasted peppers. So that's basically it. Assembly time. So we're gonna butter the bread.
Okay.
This is our special butter mix.
Which is
Butter and mayo.
I like it.
Pimento mac and cheese, some of our beautiful local tomatoes, bacon bits, and then we finish it off with the same cheddar that we've just sliced.
And we go to the grill.
Yeah.
Get it?
Then we press it down.
How long does that take to melt?
About 2.5 minutes on each side. It's all melty. Cut it on halfway. We present it open face so you can see all the goodness.
Okay.
We'll serve it up with some of our house-made pickles.
So the roasted red pepper and tomato soup.
Little basil oil on top, pimento mac and cheese. Melts.
So I gotta try this sandwich by itself.
What do you think about that?
You know what, I'll tell you something. If you're left with just pimento by itself, well, there's not enough texture.
Yeah.
Texture was the one. But you put the pasta in there and the tomato. A little bit of spice coming out of that as well. This is where it goes on. Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's how you do it.
That's so good. I'm gonna go into like a little dream sequence. I am telling you what, this just takes me back to childhood.
It's a labor of love, so we better produce.
And call it the grilled cheesery?
Runner, runner, Mamo's Dunner.
Mamo's is the epitome of Cajun and Southern cuisine.
Shrimp grilled cheese, boss, shrimp grilled cheese.
You gotta have the right people doing it.
Catfish Mamo needs a home.
The personality brings out the character of the food and the spices of the food.
That's where Louisiana transplant Jason Davis comes in.
Need them dressed nice and pretty, like my old girlfriend.
He left the mortgage business to open his first joint where you wouldn't expect it.
You opened the first restaurant at the gas station?
We did, on the other end of town.
When Jason moved from the gas station to here, the menu stayed mostly the same.
I call it Southern Cajun food. We bring in whole alligators, shark.
Where are they?
They in the back.
They in the back.
A lot of people think Cajun food is spice. It's a method, and that's what we try to convey to the people.
I have blackened chicken pasta. They smoke this chicken, and then it's got mushrooms and peppers and onions and cheese.
The perfect Cajun seasoning that Jason makes.
It's only somebody from Louisiana that has a cement mixer that they're gonna mix their own Cajun blend spice up.
You're gonna add salt, lots of cayenne if we're making Cajun spice, right? Onion powder, black pepper, chili pepper, paprika,
granulated garlic.
And that's it. We're gonna let that mix for about 5 minutes or so.
Okay, good talk.
Now we're gonna sear off our chicken, about 4 minutes on each side, and then we're gonna smoke it for about 40 minutes at 225.
We're out.
Little nice bite-sized pieces. Mushrooms, tomatoes, green onions. Start letting it get warm together.
So you do this pasta dish off these two little burners?
So when we first opened the gas station, we did off one burner. We're gonna go ahead and add our pasta to it. It's par cooked, ready to go. Garlic, Parmesan cheese, black pepper, heavy cream. Our Creole season that we made a while ago. We're gonna let this thicken up. Top it off with our little bit of garlic bread, a little bit of chives for some color and fun, and there you go.
The smoking of the chicken is the key. It really adds a depth. It's not hot by any means. You add just enough cream to keep it moist and just enough seasoning to keep it alive. I'm here in a cool little town called Geyserville in the Northern California wine country to check out a place that I kind of have some history with. I imagine a coach feels really proud when one of his players turns pro, because that's how I feel when one of my guys that's worked with me in my restaurants ventures out to open his own place. That brings us here
to Catelli's.
Here we go, folks. We got your food ready.
Where Nick Catelli.
What do we got, DC?
And his sister Dominica.
Spaghetti DC sauce.
Have come home.
My Nonni and Nono, Virginia and Santi, opened Catelli's in 1935.
And Nick and Dominica figured
Table 11.
they'd be running it someday.
Because we've always dreamt of it.
But the family lost the business back in 91.
Hello, Mama. Hey, Papa.
Once that happened, my sister and I were very adamant. We will open this again, and it will be the family business.
And it is, since they took over a year ago.
Sliders here, sweetie.
And started serving the old Catelli classics.
Nani's minestrone.
How does the food taste?
It's delicious.
Chicken sauté stick. I just absolutely love it.
Ravioli coming up.
With the butter garlic sauce, it's delicious.
It's thin, it's cooked to perfection. All made by hand every day.
Seriously, just like Grandma Catelli's.
We are making the rab filling. The pork butt.
So you cut the strips.
Before it goes into the grinder.
I want that as a ringtone.
So next what we're gonna do is we're gonna make the slurry that seasons the pork with Chardonnay, whole black peppercorns, fennel seed.
Principal items in sausage.
Yes, red pepper flakes, fresh thyme, ton load of garlic, fresh ground nutmeg, and salt. We don't have a lid for our blender anymore
In
for some
true
reason.
Catelli style,
Yeah.
okay?
She's ready to roll. That goes in here, then we just squish it, and this is going in the fridge for 2 days.
To really let those flavors come out.
Absolutely.
What in the world are we into now?
We're gonna roast off the meat. Big beef chunks.
Chicken.
Skin on, and then here's our house-made sausage. If you can grab the olive oil.
Got it.
And give me a good douse and drizzle on here and salt and pepper, and we're gonna roast this.
Going at 450 for how long?
30 to 40 minutes. We have to mix all our veg.
Okay.
Onion, celery, garlic, extra virgin olive oil, Swiss chard.
Look at this. Such great texture, great flavor.
Salt, pepper, yep, and then that's gonna go in.
Into the oven?
For about 40 minutes.
All right.
You're gonna dump the meat.
And the juices.
Into there.
Smells awesome. So the bread gets mixed in.
Let's get all the veg in there. Now we're gonna put the pecorino.
Okay.
And Parmesan,
Thyme.
basil.
Italian parsley?
Yes.
This smells so good.
Rosemary, salt, some pepper, sage, and then eggs.
Then we're gonna go back to the grinder.
Yes.
Now I can't hold this and be over there eating any of that at the same time.
That's part of the plan.
Look at that.
And you can taste it at this point.
You put that in a flip-flop, that would taste good. All right.
We're making the dough for the ravioli. Put the eggs in, and then we're gonna pour the Doppio Zero flour.
Super fine flour. So mix it up, pull it out, knead it a little bit more, let it rest.
Yes, and we're gonna cut off a piece, roll it out.
How many times is this gonna go through?
11.
You got 27 hours in a day here?
So this is gonna be round 1. Crank it down and just keep going. Okay, we're going down to 1, and this is when we're gonna read the newspaper. Can you read it?
That's nuts.
So the meat filling.
It's just like therapy. I feel good about me.
Okay, we're moisturizing. Lay this on top, press down, and we're gonna make our little square, so then you can make it pretty.
Then we're gonna quick freeze them, and please, after that, can we eat?
Yes, let's boil the wraps. When they float to the top, we're gonna pull them out.
What fantasticness are you tossing that in?
Butter, garlic, salt, parsley, and a pinch of Parmesan cheese. Manja.
Wow. So tender, delicate, and so rich. Small, dainty, handmade perfection is what this is. This is one of the best raviolis I've ever had.
Chicken parm, table 5.
If you're coming to look for that Italian vibe, this is the place to be. It's got a world-class menu, but it's got a neighborhood feel.
Order up, linguine with olive oil and garlic.
I remember coming here when I was a kid, but around 10 years ago, the Liuzzi brothers took it over.
Little neck clams.
I knew Sonny from when I was a kid. He's basically the host here. And then you got Stogie Joe, who's just an all-around guy. Then you got Christian, who's a fabulous cook.
But this isn't the brothers' first rodeo. They teamed up on a more upscale spot, but decided to jump from fine dining into this long-time local joint.
This is kind of like a speakeasy. The old man was selling. He was retiring. So he says, I want you guys to have it. I think it'd be perfect for you.
What do you guys serve here?
What was on our dinner table every day? I lost my mom 8 months ago. That's all her recipes over there on the wall. Spaghetti and meatballs, the crab gravy. Order up, linguine with crab gravy.
Nobody makes the crab gravy like Stogie Joe.
Sunday gravy was a tomato sauce for a pasta dish, correct?
Exactly.
But we're gonna make it with crab.
Yep. So we start with olive oil, butter, leeks, onion,
celery, bay leaf,
garlic, peppercorn, a little bit of oregano, crushed red pepper, some fresh parsley and thyme.
My favorite album.
Get that going for a few minutes.
Raw but clean blue crabs.
Exactly.
And this is the crab of the East Coast.
Yes.
Talk about great flavor and sweet.
Old Bay, and then we'll cook it for 15 minutes. We'll finish it with white wine and crushed plum tomatoes.
We're gonna cook it?
Yep. 4 hours, 5 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We macerate it through a food mill.
I've never seen this. That's awesome. So it comes with the sieve and everything?
Yep.
We're gonna grind it up, get the sauce out of it.
Yep.
The crab, all that great flavor's in the shell. You get all the flavor, none of the shells.
Exactly.
This is the next level. Did your mom get the chance to see any of this?
Absolutely.
What did she say? I never taught it to you this way.
Exactly.
I'm just dying to see the end of this.
Crab gravy, dab of tomato, butter just to balance out. Bring it up
Okay.
to temperature. We're gonna add linguine and salt and pepper. Just coat it real nice. You remember?
Real nice, like that. Smells the part.
Finish it with a little parsley, extra virgin olive oil.
And that's all she wrote.
In South Philly, we eat it with bread. You gotta dip.
Your brothers aren't over here serving the bread, working together as a tag team.
Here you go, big guy. I was sleeping.
Thank you. Are you taking a nap, were you? It is crab on crab on crab. You're getting all the flavor you want. Wham! Right into the pasta dish. It's flavor city, really delicious.
2 linguine crab.
The crab gravy is really, really good.
Their crabs just throughout that sauce and is unforgettable.
Upside down Sicilian, ready?
It's a slice of New York in the middle of the desert.
Grab my pizza.
Flavors are outstanding. You can smell it when you walk in the door.
Thanks to Chef Sal Cufaro, who took over this pizza pasta joint in 2005. So is this New York style? Is this Italian style?
The New York style American pizza, I guess.
Okay. Plus a little of his own style.
Lasagna pizza, ready?
Which means piling the pies with pasta.
Bacon Ziti pizza.
I love baked ziti on the side. I also love thin crust pizza. You put the two of them together, makes a perfect pie.
What kind of pizza do we make?
We gotta make bacon ziti pizza.
Bacon ziti pizza, Come on, doesn't it have a sound to it?
Gotta do the dough first. We started with water.
Room temperature water?
Yeah. Then we put salt, sugar, extra virgin olive oil.
Of course. Who taught you how to make pizza?
I used to watch my mother make pizza. Then we put the yeast.
All of that together?
Now we gotta put the flour in.
High gluten flour, got it.
We wait
All right.
about 10 minutes.
This is like skilled labor for me. We're gonna make a ziti?
Oh yeah, let's put the pasta in the water first.
Okay.
Then we put some marinara sauce, some cream, seasoning, salt and pepper. Let it cook for about a few minutes.
Okay. Little butter?
Little butter. Grated Parmesan cheese, parsley.
Okay.
Pasta's ready to go in.
We'll let the pasta finish cooking in the sauce, right?
Yeah, about a couple minutes, and then now we're gonna par bake the pizza dough.
We're gonna par bake the pizza dough. Otherwise, because if we put that hot, it would cook right through the pizza dough.
All right. Okay, we gotta put some oat milk mozzarella.
A little bit of cheese.
We're gonna put the pasta now.
And I try that, right? And very nice.
Very nice. A little more mozzarella, a little more grated Parmesan. We'll put it back in the oven. In about a couple minutes.
It's ready to go.
There we go.
The dough is nice and crispy. I love pasta. I love pizza. But the key is, pasta's got to be al dente.
Yes.
And the dough has to be crispy. That right there, that's the optimum bite. If I could come in and get this, I'd be here 2 or 3 times a week.
It's our go-to date night.
Great spot for food, drinking, dancing.
Got your elote over, ready to sauce up.
Favorite thing on the menu?
I had never heard of a poutine, and they said that this place has gravy and fries and cheese curds all mixed in one. And I was like, what the is that?
Well, it's the kind of stuff Brandon Hers and Alan Kaysen are putting together after a journey that started in high school and ended as owners of this joint.
We actually didn't like each other in high school.
You didn't like each other in high school. That's a good way to start the business.
Well, we worked together in this place before it was Pounds. The offer came up to buy it, and we pooled together money really quick.
What's the food?
But we wanted to take good culinary foundation and apply it to, like, everyday
concepts.
Yeah. Pork or mac in the window.
The barbecue pork mac and cheese, all around, just a very flavorful dish.
Oh, I think it's kind of a guilty pleasure, actually.
What dish are we making first?
Pulled pork on macaroni and cheese with barbecue sauce.
The health craze is taking over Fargo.
We're gonna make the spice rub for our pulled pork. Brown sugar, paprika, chili powder, cayenne, garlic powder, onion powder,
kitchen sink,
dried oregano, coriander, cinnamon,
nutmeg,
fenugreek,
dry mustard powder,
sumac,
chipotle powder.
Nothing else you want to add to it? Why weren't you guys friends in high school?
Well, I didn't get the seat at the cool kid table.
Well, who's the one on the show right now?
The tables have turned, yeah.
Oh, how you enjoying the lobby?
We're gonna take our pork. We score it a little bit. We want the salt to be in every little square inch.
Really work its way through.
Yeah. Black pepper as well, pork rub. Now we're doing the mustard. This has vinegar in it, which is gonna help break down a lot of the connective tissue that we have here.
We're gonna grill it with the mustard.
That's correct.
Okay.
It's like that char flavored. Now we're gonna get our braising liquid together. Beer, cola, cider vinegar, some Worcestershire, liquid smoke.
A lot of it.
Salt.
Pour this in.
Braise this for about 2.5 hours, just until you can shred it.
Dig it. Next up, mac and cheese.
Half and half.
In the double boiler, so it doesn't have direct flame contact, so it doesn't burn it.
Heavy cream, cream cheese, shredded white American cheese.
You think you want to get a bigger pot, Chef?
Shredded cheddar? No, it'll mix. Got to give it some time.
Oh, I'll get the time for you. What do you want?
No, I need my assistant back.
Alan!
You're into Gouda? All right.
It's so Gouda.
A little guy bird feeder. Just put some Gouda out there. Now we're gonna make our little sauce mixture for the mac sauce. Buffalo sauce, salt, pepper, onion and garlic.
Stir that up.
Add it to our sauce. Take our immersion blender and make sure everything gets incorporated properly.
What do we have left?
Barbecue sauce, ketchup, Dr. Pepper, Worcestershire, cider vin, brown sugar, paprika, cayenne, chili powder, garlic powder, onion powder, bay leaves, salt. Bring it up to a boil and then simmer for about a half an hour.
Gosh, there's a lot of ingredients in this monster.
Take a little bit of oil, pork, let this sear off. Noodles into our mac sauce, plate our pork sauce.
This comes with a side of treadmill. Pickled jalapenos. It's a dynamite dish. Everything's gotta be right. Any one part of this not being right, you just put two sides together and call it a main dish. That's right on top of right and added some more right. The pork is delicious and not dried out. The barbecue sauce has got fantastic tang and not overly sweet. The mac sauce gives you that thin, silky, creamy texture. And the real kicker to the whole thing is the diced jalapenos, a little bit of the acidity, a little bit of the heat. Delicious dish. I mean, like, really have to take it away from me. I want to eat it all kind of dish.
Got the barbecue pork or mac and cheese.
The pulled pork has a really nice flavor, and the mac and cheese is nice and gooey.
It's just the perfect amount of sauce on it.
Best food in Boston.
Tenderloin?
So is second-generation owner, Tony DeCenzo.
Jim Scampi up.
Were you born in Italy?
Born in Italy. Migrated here with my family in '85. My parents bought the business. We're ready to retire in like '94, and I've had it ever since.
I have a lobster ravioli.
The ravioli is made fresh, just very delicious.
All right, what are we making first, boss?
Okay, we're gonna boil some lobsters.
Okay.
For our lobster raviolis, we have 2 lobsters, about 1.5 pounds each.
Is it water seasoned?
Yeah, a little salt. Drop them in there
for about
15
minutes.
10-15 minutes.
Okay, when these get done, we'll get started.
Yeah, we're gonna shock them in an ice bath.
So we stop the cooking process.
Okay, now we're gonna take all the meat out, the tail, the claws.
This is for the filling?
Yes.
All right, so we get all the lobster meat out?
And the legs also.
We're gonna roll out the legs.
Yes.
This is actually going to be quite comical. His big hands and this. Get after it, boss. Squeezing all the meat right out of it. Look at that, like lobster sausage. That meat is super sweet and super tasty. A lot of work for a little lobster. So this gets us the bowl of lobster. Now we chop it up, do a little saute on it.
Some extra virgin olive oil, some shallots.
Where do you get your olive oil from?
Italy.
Of course. We got the chopped up lobster meat.
There we go. Okay, a little fresh parsley.
Italian parsley?
Yes, salt, pepper.
And that's all she wrote.
Yeah, pull it off the heat.
Let it cool down.
About a half an hour.
Somebody's got to try it. Can't we just eat it like that?
I know, it's delicious. Okay, you ready?
Go.
We're gonna make our filling. Fresh ricotta.
Where are you getting the ricotta from?
From Italy also.
What, do you have like a tram that goes back and forth?
Nothing but the best.
A Parmigiano Reggiano?
Parmigiano Reggiano. Some parsley, salt, pepper, a chilled lobster meat.
All right, brother.
Just fold it. I like to leave it chunky.
Yes. No, I want some
chunky.
texture.
None of this pureed stuff.
No, I want chunk of lobster.
There you go. That's right.
So we got this ready. Next thing is making the pasta.
Exactly, yes.
Please, will we eat soon?
Yes, we will, yes.
Killing me.
The flour, make the well, where we're gonna add our eggs.
We make pasta at home quite a bit, my boys and I.
This is how my grandmother taught me, my mother.
This is how we do it.
Add the eggs. Then, a little salt, a little extra virgin olive oil.
Because our pitchfork is in the shop, we're gonna whip the eggs with this. Each time he mixes it around, a little bit more flour catches in, incorporating into the eggs.
Now it's kind of like pasty. We can start folding in the flour.
And now just as much flour will stick to it as it can. And do you do all the prep and everything in this little kitchen?
Yes.
We're making a sheeted pasta. We want to gently do this, so you start this on the largest number.
Exactly. And we're gonna work our way down to like 2.5.
Wow, look at this. There should be music to this right now. This should be a video.
When I get towards the end, we're gonna fold it and make it a little bit more wider, better consistency.
So it really fits inside of the ravioli mold.
Exactly. There you go. A little flour right on top of the mold. Just press it in a little bit because that's where the filling's gonna go in.
Wow, you don't skimp on the filling.
Nope.
I just want you to see this. That right there is plenty, but that is how much he puts in a ravioli here. Crazy. Now we do another sheet.
Yep, right on top. Press down to the two pastas sealed together. Flip it over.
1, 2.
Take the mold off and then cut it with the dough cutter. See where the ridges are? Then what we do is press them on all sides.
Make sure that they seal. There's no air in these. Then you hit a little flour, put them on a sheet tray.
What we'll do is we'll freeze them.
They'll seal even better, and then you're off to go.
We're gonna make the lobster ravioli sauce now.
Fantastic.
Some extra virgin olive oil, shallots, lobster meat.
Seriously?
Yep, salt, pepper, let that sweat a little bit. Next, we'll add our brandy.
Oh, that what happened?
Yeah, that's what I have.
What it is?
Yes, that's what it is. Once it's done flaming, one tomato sauce, heavy cream, butter, take some fresh basil. Now we're gonna let it reduce.
We're gonna put this onto the 15-step ravioli.
Put in 8 raviolis to an order for about 2.5 minutes.
We want to have this on a simmer boil, not a rapid boil, so you don't beat these things up.
Exactly.
Ravies are floating.
Yes, let them drain, add in their sauce. Then a little grated cheese, Parmigiano Reggiano.
Here comes the monster meal.
Just drop them right in there. Lobster ravioli.
I can feel the firmness of the pasta.
That is so good.
This place is just outstanding.
It's the best barbecue I've had in Southern California.
All right, let's pull this. Everyone's gonna tell you that Al is a great guy.
I mean, he would give anybody the shirt off his back.
Literally. Al Borda had mad success in the t-shirt business, and then his late wife Holly convinced him to open up a restaurant.
She loved the barbecue so much, she wanted to do a barbecue restaurant.
And that was it.
Holly loved Gorilla's barbecue.
Triple D joint. And you know Gorilla. You know the great Benny Lynn.
All because of you.
I've known Al for quite a while. You're a great fan of food. You tasted barbecue from all over the country.
Yes.
And this is what you put together, hobos.
It's a lot different than your average barbecue place.
What are we gonna make?
This is gonna be our house rub.
All right, let's get into it.
So we're gonna have raw sugar,
Brown sugar,
kosher salt, paprika, black pepper, turmeric for color, cocoa powder,
garlic,
cinnamon.
It's a lot of cinnamon, Al.
Crazy like that. Espresso, cumin.
Now, what are we gonna use this on?
Our brisket sandwiches, our big guy, our lumberjack.
A lumberjack sandwich is delicious.
It's got the brisket on it. It's got the potato salad.
It's a hearty sandwich.
That's a big brisket.
It's certified Angus beef.
And that's pretty high-end barbecue, buddy. It's got great fat, got great flavor. So we're gonna dry rub this?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go to the old hickory smoker.
We do 12 hours at 200 degrees.
Okay.
And then we crank it up to 275 for another 4 hours.
All right, so what are we making now, Big Al?
Potato salad dressing.
Okay.
Mayo, apple cider vinegar, black pepper.
There we go.
Onion powder.
Okay, celery salt.
This is parsley.
Excellent.
Garlic powder, Dijon mustard.
It's a nice fortified mayo.
Cooked potatoes.
Boiled.
Red bell pepper.
Jalapenos?
Jalapenos, de-seeded and deveined, so they're not spicy. Cilantro. Roasted garlic.
Nice call there.
Kosher salt. Fresh black pepper. And then we finish it off with our house dressing.
All right. Nice looking brisket, nice bark. Look at this fat right here. That right there is where all that flavor is. That is really good.
We're gonna use thin slices.
A little bit easier to eat in a sandwich. So the potato salad.
Brisket. The house-made pickles. A little potato salad dressing. And sriracha for a little kick. That's it.
Did you just eat off my plate, Al?
A little bit.
Oh my goodness, are we gonna have a talk? I need a napkin. Oh, thanks, Ann. I get so much richness and good smoke from the brisket itself. I get a little bit of that spicy acid from the sriracha, and then I get to taste that pickle. And the contrast between the hot meat and the cold potato salad on the crispy bun all plays together really well. That's a lights out sandwich. I mean, really like a dynamite, legit sandwich.
Thank you very much, Chef.
The meat by itself is incredible. It's just really tender. I really like the potato salad. You get a whole bunch of flavor profiles while you're eating.
Sitting here with a UFC great. This is Dan Henderson and his daughter, Danny.
I've known Al for a long time. I love the sandwiches. The pulled pork is awesome here, too.
Which is just one of the meats going into the lasagna. Wait a second. Lasagna at a barbecue joint?
I've never had lasagna like this before in my life.
It's like a meat pie. It's like the perfect combination of Italian lasagna and barbecue.
So we're brining chicken for what?
Barbecue lasagna.
Ow, we just did great. And now you're gonna make me lasagna?
Everyone seems to love it. It's very good.
We'll see.
Hot water.
So the sugar.
Kind of melt it down a little bit. Salt. Fresh garlic.
Okay. Red chili flake. Some thyme.
cool the water down before the chicken goes in so it doesn't start to cook the chicken.
How long are you gonna let this brine?
24 hours.
Bring it out, dry rub it into the smoker, and how long is it gonna go in the smoker?
About 4 hours.
What temp?
225.
Shred it. And now we're gonna make barbecue lasagna.
Yes, we are.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
I'll build the sauce on the bottom to keep it from sticking.
We got noodles that have been cooked off.
And we'll start building our layers. Do pulled pork first.
You think that's enough pork? I was kidding.
Yes. A little more sauce.
Okay, so we're gonna glue it all together with some cheese.
Another layer.
There you go.
A little sauce on it. Our second layer is gonna be the pulled chicken.
It has all my favorite food groups in it.
Top layer, spicy Cajun sausage.
That's been cooked and rendered down. A meal like this looks like you're gonna be feeding UFC fighters.
We decorated every one of these, initials, a couple hearts. We wrap it.
It's gonna go in the oven for an hour. I can't wait to see this.
There we go. I'll give you a normal size piece.
You got a ton of protein, good amount of cheese, and a lot of noodle. Al, buddy, I'm gonna tell you, it's exactly what you want. When you want some pasta, you want some barbecue, because that right there shouldn't work for a lot of reasons because of how big it is and how much flavor there is, but it is really good. You got enough meat in there, but not too much, just done in balance. That is true indulgence, dude. Well done.
It's richer and heartier and just has a really good flavor.
I didn't know what to expect eating barbecued lasagna, but it's phenomenal. It's really good.
If you want the best barbecue in town, you go to Hobo's.
Absolutely.